My Little Pony Friendship is Magic Executed, Lost Episode, Creepypasta Story. It's not usually the norm when it comes to cartoons. I've heard of lost episodes before as I read stories about them before on the internet. But I did not expect to hear a horrific tale like this. When I was at home watching television and the weather said it was going to have a 95% chance of a thunderstorm in my area. My parents went on a dinner date for themselves at a fancy restaurant. They could say that I could stay home because they weren't really sure if I was interested in the restaurant. After I saw the weather, I noticed there was an episode of SpongeBob that was new airing on Nickelodeon at 8:30 p.m. and I recorded the episode, waited eagerly for this airing. But just as the cable reached 8:30, my house's power went out. I was a bit ticked off because I was excited for this new episode. However, 30 minutes later, the power came back on at 9 p.m. I decided to check my DVR to see if the new episode was recorded, and sure enough, it was. However, I noticed another show was recorded at the same time when the power went out. It was an episode of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. I checked the info about this episode and it said Season 9, Episode 27. That's strange. I don't recall there being a 27th episode of the show because it was thought to have ended after Season 9, 26, which took place after defeating Lord Tira, Cozy Glow, and Chrysalis. The episode's name just said Executed. Hesitantly, I pressed play on the episode. However, the odd thing is the that logo, Hasbro, popped up after the credits showed up first, but the filter was a blood shade of red, and the fireworks were green this time, and the Hasbro logo popped up. It went reverse and slowed down. Then the picture of what appeared to be Twilight Sparkle appeared, except her face was sad, and her eyes and mouth were replaced with black voids. Her head tilted only to the right as well. The picture only appeared to be a split second, so it was really hard to pin it. Then the episode started. The intro was normal in color, and it was slightly slowed down to both speed and pitch-wise. When it showed Spike send a letter to Celestia in the intro, the intro just skipped after that, and it just said Executed. After the intro finished, it showed the Equestria, and it was nighttime. Crickets were chirping in the background. Then it showed Rainbow Dash sitting next to the fountain with a pony statue on it. I also noticed that Rainbow Dash was in her regular form and not the series finale form, which made sense that this episode would take place after the three villains' deaths, or defeats, whatever. Just then another pony walks up to her. He had the same shape as Rainbow Dash with a pointy nose, however his fur was green and his mane, tail, and irises were red. His cutie mark looked just like Rainbow's, but the lightning bolt was all yellow. "Hello, Jeffrey, my big brother," said Rainbow Dash in a confident tone. "How are you on this fine night?" she asked to him. "I'm doing good, Rainbow Dash," Jeffrey said in an eager tone. "I'm just delivering these apples from Sweet Apple Acres to the fruit market in Canterlot by the request of Applejack, and then I gotta help Dr. Hooves deliver the night run of mail at 3 o'clock. I never knew that Rainbow Dash supposedly had a older brother, as shown in this episode. Anyways, I gotta deliver these apples now. I'll see you in the morning," he said to Rainbow Dash. Then the screen fades, Jeffrey delivering the apples and then getting the mail. "Right on time," said Dr. Hooves to Jeffrey. "We got to get all the mail delivered by morning for Derpy as she's on a vacation." The scene then fades to another scene showing Jeffrey delivering the last set of mail to the recommendation of destinations. "Hello, Jeffrey," said the Royal Guard patrolling the area. Dr. Hooves was seen entering Sugar Cube Corner. He hasn't come back since. The next scene is where things got really bad. Jeffrey enters Sugar Cube Corner. He looks around to search for him. He didn't see him in any of the rooms. And then he sees an open door that has a red light in the room. He notices that this room did not have any stairs as it was on the main floor. He goes in the room. I honestly began to feel worried and uneasy. "Hello, Dr. Hooves, are you in here?" Jeffrey said with a worried expression. I tried pausing the recording, but nothing on the remote responded, even before I put in the new batteries just before this power went out. Just then, the doors behind Jeffrey closed and locked. "Dr. Hooves, this isn't funny anymore." "I'm stuck," said Jeffrey in an uneasy tone of voice. In the farther distance of the room was just walls that were in a red tint. I noticed that there were some pieces of skeletons of ponies here, and there in the far distance, just in the machine with two spikes, came down from the ceiling and stabbed Jeffrey in the eyes. Jeffrey then started to scream in pain. His eyes were no longer cartoonish or anything. It was realistic screaming. Blood started dripping from the bottom of his eyes. Then the machine went up, taking the eyes with them, leaving him with no eyes. Just empty sockets. Jeffrey began to cry realistically, and I felt bad for him. He literally just lost his eyes. He then stopped crying, and just then the sound of a chainsaw started up is heard, and Jeffrey began to slowly whimper. I looked in horror as the chainsaw came out of nowhere and started sawing through the back of his neck. The green pony started screaming in agony and realistically too. What the actual fuck was I even seeing on my screen right now? I thought to myself. Blood also was showing as he screamed. Then the saw went through his neck and went away. I could still hear a little bit of bone cracking. He screamed one more time before his head fell off his body and blood gushed out before cutting to the black. The final scene shows Rainbow Dash entering Sugar Cube Corner and finding the room. She sees two taxidermy ponies stitched up while slightly stained with blood. One was Dr. Hooves and the other was Jeffrey. Rainbow started to cry knowing that both stallions were gone. Pinky entered the room with Derpy, who was at the side, and also heard what happened. Pinky and Derpy also cried silently as they had tears in their eyes. The scene shows them at a slightly farther view. Then I heard a familiar piece of music that was slowed down slightly. It was the ending music piece from Season 1 of Thomas & Friends before the credits played. Then a screamer popped up. It was a two-dimensional picture of Jeffrey, the green pony, without his eyes while crying blood in the black background. He made one scream sound before it cut to the episode credits. The MLP ending theme and credits were all slow like the intro. And after the Hasbro logo popped up in forward, the TV shut itself off. I instantly ran to the bathroom and threw up in the toilet. After I came out of the bathroom, I began crying. Why would Hasbro put this episode on air? I needed answers. I called my mother and I begged her and dad to come home. They said that they were on their way home. When they came back home, I instantly ran up to them and hugged them with tears in my eyes. I told them about the horrific episode I saw. Don't worry, Jane. I will contact Hasbro about what you saw, she said, comforting me. I then checked to show the episode on the DVR, but could not find it anymore. I then decided to ask my friend Jeffrey on Discord if he saw the episode. He said he did, and he was lucky to record proof of his on his iPhone 8 Plus, as well as screenshots. I noticed his green pony avatar was the same green pony named after him, and asked if that was the green pony episode was his OC. He said it was, but he was confused on why they put him in the episode. He also contacted Hasbro about this and gave them screenshots. The next day, he came over to my place to help me recover from this traumatic experience. That's when he got the response from Hasbro. My mom also got the same response. The response message was this: "We are so sorry that you had to witness this episode. That episode was written by someone that really hated your friend Jeffrey and his OC. This person that made the episode was named Miguel. After the episode aired, we got 250 plus complaints for the episode violence that was in the episode, and as a way for us to sell things, we decided to send an exclusive My Little Pony goodie box with MLP related stuff in it to all the houses that send complaints. The episode was never meant to be aired. Sincerely, Hasbro." Jeffrey then told me that this Miguel person was caught later the next morning and was arrested for crimes like death threats, animal cruelty, and murder. Me and Jeffrey, as well as all the others that saw this, have received our own MLP gift boxes, which contained a My Little Pony notebook, 10 blind bags of pony figures, and 5 Guardians of Harmony action figures, being Rainbow Dash, Applejack, Twilight, Sparkle, Shining Armor, and the 5th was an exclusive figure of Jeffrey's OC named after him. We promise to take care of these figurines of Jeffrey, as he is a exclusive that is only in this gift box. And the bio on the back of the packaging said that he is the guardian that helps keep the magic of happiness and magic and stability of friendship together. If you ever see a My Little Pony episode called Executed on your DVR, or any chance see the episode on a My Little Pony DVD, if there's any reports, do not watch it. It's just horrific.